Rightio, so today is the exciting day. Today we're heading to Sydney this morning, going to drive across to Wagga and catch the plane to Sydney to pick up the new vehicle. So who's excited? This guy right here. So we've been waiting, we've been saving for a long time. I've always wanted one of these vehicles, so yeah, I won't tell you what it is just at the moment, but we did look at some different types of vehicles. We looked at some cruisers, we looked at Y62s, we looked at the Ranger, we looked at the Amarok, but it really all came back down to really one. So, and this is the one we're getting today. So we've been waiting a little while. It's probably going to give it away, I reckon. Been waiting a little while. So it's nearly time to go and get it. So we'll just drop these kids off on the bus and then it's straight across to Wagga into Sydney and pick up the new vehicle, and then I'll get to spend the next 4.5 hours testing it on the way back home, back to Temora where we are. So let's go and get this new vehicle. Right, we have made it to Wagga Airport, and guess what? The old plane has been delayed. So I've been tracking on the flight tracker on the phone, and it took them like 25 minutes to depart Sydney, so they sat in line there for ages. So revved it right up and they're going to get here pretty quickly, so hopefully it'll be a quick turnaround. So instead of us leaving here at 10:30, it's now 10:45, I think, so it's only 15 minutes. It's not too bad, but anyway, it's a bit of a kink in the armour. But anyway, we've got a 12:30 appointment, so we'll get into Sydney at 11:55, so it should be enough time to get around the corner to the where we're getting the car. So we'll head on in, go through check-in, and then get on the plane hopefully.
A few moments later. The next day.
Rightio, so we've made it back from Sydney. Now the car went very, very well, so very happy with it. Well, I suppose I should be happy with it, but we've been waiting for a little while to see this car and get this car, so we finally got it. So drove well on the way home. I'm going to turn it around. You probably already know what it is, but I just wanted to keep you in a little bit of suspense, just a little bit longer. I didn't get any footage when I picked it up. And I didn't really get any footage when I drove it home because I was just too excited. I was sort of talking to the dealers and the people involved, so that's why I didn't get it. So it is the next day since I went down and got it. It's a sunny day, which is good. But anyway, I'm rambling on now. I'm going to turn it around. I'm going to show you our new tow vehicle for the foreseeable future. Check this one out. This car is so cool. Every time we've got it in the shed there, so every time we go past the shed door, we open up, make sure it's still there, and make sure it's not a dream, it's actually reality. So it took us a little while, but we got there. So as you would have seen in the previous videos, we actually sold the ute. It left, so I put on the market when we got back from our trip, and it went pretty quick actually. So another local buyer picked it up. They just wanted a bit more of a setup, and they were quite happy with what we've got. But yeah, this is so cool. I'm going to take you inside. You've probably already seen inside of 300 series, but to us this is ridiculously just all the tech that goes in it. It's unbelievable. Anyway, we'll have a bit of a look in here. Nice black interior, all nicely finished. Well, compared to what we've had before coming from Colorado, perfect. So we got some floor mats, and they're from Osco.
So we got them, so we did the front, the rear and the back, all the floors got done. So there's nothing wrong with the floor mats you get from Toyota, but we just found these ones a little bit more, they're covered a little bit more I suppose, and sort of less carpet area to, if you have any spillage, it's a bit easier to clean up. But going in the back seat, as you can see there's already footprints all through it, other bits and pieces. Rear air conditioner for the back. We never had that in the Colorado. She was an old school beast, but I've got to give it to it. It didn't let us down once. Actually, the only time it let us down is it needed a new fuel pump. But other than that, I couldn't fault it really. It was sort of sad to see it go. It was a workhorse. It took us pretty much all around Australia, probably nearly twice. And yeah, as I said, that fuel pump was the only problem with it. But so we got the GXL model of this. So it's not the GX Povo pack, but it's the next one up. So but anyway, it's not a Povo pack. They're all a great vehicle. It's just the finishes, I guess. So a nice big boot area. So this one, the GXL, it's got the 7 seats. So this is this Osco cover here. It just covers the back. And then obviously the other 2 seats are under there. But other bits and pieces in here for the kids, USB-C spots. I've already changed these lights that were in here. They were just an old halogen light. You think for the amount of money you spend on one of these, it'd have LED. So I went down and got some LED white lights and changed them out. It looks so much better. But really, really, really impressive how it goes. A little bit dirty because we live on a bit of a dirt road to get down here. Standard rims and tyres. They'll do us for at least 12 months anyway before we swap them out. But sitting inside here, yeah, so much more room. Got Apple CarPlay in here, you got wireless charging, you've got all these different modes. You know, I'm gonna have to get the book out and have a bit of a read. That's the owner's manual there. Big cup holders, massive big center console. In the higher grade ones, that is or like a fridge, I suppose. The air conditioner runs through it and cools it down. But all this lane departure assist. So I've read a lot of reviews and watched a lot of videos, and that is a bit dangerous, that one there. So Toyota needs to sort of have a bit of a look at that. Even if you get in, you turn it off, and it should stay off. But every time you get in it, you've got to turn this thing back off again. So it is an absolute pain in the bumhole, but pretty easy really. So we got electric brakes fitted. Just got to take it down to the local place here in town, Fritsch Brothers, and get them to wire up the Anderson plug for me for the caravan, change the 7-pin plug that's on it to a 12, and then we're ready to go. But so this is the LED white lights I put in there. It's probably not the best time to see it, but yeah, so much better than those yellow halogen ones that are in there. Righto, I'm in the back. So I read a lot of things when we first were looking at getting a new vehicle, and everyone reckons the second row in the 300 series is a lot smaller. Well, tell you what, it's a lot bigger than what we had. I suppose if you're going from a 200 series into a 300, I could probably understand it is probably a little bit smaller in the cab, but for us, this is unreal. Like aircon vent at the back, like we never had that in the Colorado, but yeah, as you can probably tell, pretty tickled pink about it. Just can't wait to set it all up and start traveling around. So doing a bit of touring in it. It'd be nice if this was an automatic opening and closing boot, I suppose, but again, that's something that can be done down the track. You can buy kits for it. I probably will eventually do it, but at the moment, we've never had it before, so we're not really missing anything. So Again, if you're coming from like a 200 or something that does have an opening closing boot, then you probably want it, I guess. But for us, it's not really that bad. So tow bars are located behind that. So I've seen a few people on Facebook group, they'll actually cut a bit out of that. I suppose you can see a little bit of dust on there, hopefully. And you can put that on and just leaves the tongue exposed. So again, that's something that I'll probably will get around to doing eventually. Because it looks pretty ordinary if it's off. But it looks good with it on. So interior wise, you know, if you've got plenty of kids, you can tie off your 3 kids so they're not going to escape. In here you've got some storage area. I'm not going to do too much in the rear here as in a fit out. I'm just going to keep it pretty simple because I want to be able to still use the last row if we need. So the idea at the moment is to go and get a kick-ass lithium battery box and have it set up in the back there. Run an Anderson auxiliary thing back to the battery, so when we're driving it can charge it, and also I can hook it up to a solar panel as well. And fridge wise, I'm just going to go with either a Bushman's 85 litre upright fridge. Again, I'm not going to have it mounted in the vehicle all the time. I want to be able to take it out. One thing's light, one thing's easy, so we can use it as a day-to-day thing if we needed to. But this is our main touring car. So Ben's got the Mazda and I've got the old BT50 sitting over there in the shed, but going to keep it simple, get it all ready to roll. A few things we want to do to the vehicle as we're going along. So tyres, that'll eventually get done, and rims maybe, not too sure. We're going to put a roof rack on the top. So I'm sort of leaning towards the wedge tail or the ARB, I think it's called the space rack. If you've got any of those on your 300 or you know someone that does, let us know in the comments what they're like. So I'm sort of between two. I can go and see an ARB one, but the wedge tail one, it's a bit hard from where we are. I don't really want to drive 4 or 5 hours to go and look at one. But I want to make the best decision because I've read a lot of comments. People put them on there and they're noisy. Well, not those particular brands, but other brands that are on there. So that's what we want to do with that. And also a 270 awning. We're looking at the 30-second awning. Look pretty good. They're reasonably priced. I've had a look at a couple. You know, they look awesome, and then you go click on the price, and they're like $3 grand, and you're just like, wow. For what we want to do, something simple, practical, and it's going to last. That's what we want, because eventually we want to, with the roof rack, we'll have it set up as well, so we can get a couple of swags, throw the swags on there, throw a bit of gear in the back, and we can go away, because we want to go and do a bit of Vic High Country stuff. But I want to go down there and do a recce first in the vehicle, and see what's there, what it's like to get in and out of the place, and then before we take the van down. So that's the reason why we go the roof racks, so we can put swags, other bits and pieces on there, the Max Tracks, and go from there. So at the front, we were thinking about getting a nudge bar. I probably still will get a nudge bar, just so we can mount a driving light on there. Lights of this at night time are pretty good, but it'd be just nice to have that big woof of light, or maybe even put a light up on the roof rack up there. I know the ARB one, they've got a light that goes on it, little slimline thing that throws a fair bit of light. So it's one of those things we're just unsure what we're going to do yet. Obviously this has taken a fair chunk of our budget, so we're going to have to save up again before we start adding accessories. So I'm just hoping my Lemmys here in the front paddock, when we go to sell them, they'll be worth heaps of money. So that's what I'm planning. So As I said, all the driving inside, still gotta learn all that. I think it's gonna take a while. This thing beeps, buzzes, carries on. I'm still learning how to use it, so I'll just quickly show you the 3.3 litre twin turbo. So this is the big girl. So to me, this just screams, if something goes wrong, ring Toyota. I'm not gonna touch anything under there at all, because that is way above my pay grade and my knowledge. So in here is the battery. So that's the battery compartment. Small battery, big compartment. So I wanted to put a secondary battery in there, but the ones I sort of looked at were going to cost a fair bit of money, so I wasn't too sure what way to go. So as I said before, I'm probably just going to go the Kick-Ass battery box, because it's I can take it in and out. Unless you can spend some big money on batteries that go in the engine bay. But I think that for us, to keep it simple, easy, we'll probably go with that. But oh yeah, so we got the dash mat too, so just to protect the dash a bit, even though it's probably already UV resistant or whatever you want to call it, but it just looks nice. I've always had one inside the vehicle, so why not stick with it? So we're gonna get all our accessories fitted first, and then get the van onto it and just see what our payload, GCM, GVM and all that sort of stuff is, and then see if we have to go along and upgrade the rear springs in it or something, just give it, or a GVM upgrade that potentially down the track. We may do that, but at this stage we'll just keep it easy. But yeah, I bloody love it. This thing's so much horsepower, gets up and goes. If you're really looking around for one, consider a 300 series. I know it stretches the budget a lot, and it's out of a lot of people's range, but we thought it was. But we sold the ute, we had a bit of savings there, and we thought, well, we only got to throw a little bit more money in, and we're going to have a 300 series, so hopefully it's the king of the road. Oil-wise, oil consumption-wise, to tell the truth, I haven't even checked it, but we've driven around a little bit. But I'm not worried about too much with that. If you use a little bit of oil, the Colorado used a little bit of oil over its time. You should check it every couple of weeks. If we're travelling, every couple of days, just to keep on top of it. But right, that's the new girl. Need to have a name for it. Drop us a comment in the comment section below. Should have a nickname for these cars. Don't know, what can we name it? Larry the Land Cruiser? Yeah, that sounds alright. Oh, Larry the Land Cruiser. Actually, I like Larry, that's good. So I'll refer to this Land Cruiser now as Larry. So every time you hear Larry, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, if you want to know any more info, you want to know something what we got, you can't find something that's in here, hit us up, put us a comment in the comments section below, send us a private message on our Facebook page, so I'm happy to answer anything. But yeah, really, really happy with it. So anyway, I'm waffling on now. I might even go and give it a wash. It's got a little bit of dust on it, I need to give it a wash. Probably needs more of a clean out inside, so I'm going to try not to eat inside, that's the plan. But anyway, hope you liked it, guys. If you do, do all the normal stuff that you normally would do. Consider doing all that sort of stuff. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.